Erica, the bread didn't turn out quite right. Can you do something about it? Sart asked, glancing at the loaf with a mix of concern and curiosity. What do you mean, didn't turn out quite right? He replied, puzzled. Maybe we need a better oven. Love, I've come across some fantastic options for sale lately, Erica suggested with a sigh. All right, I'll talk to Mrs. Stacy about it, he said. My name is Erica Walson. I'm 35 years old, and I work from home as a full-time Forex trader. I met my husband, Ethan, 2 years my senior, at a previous job. We were both employed at a small mail-order business in the pet food department, and I in customer service for cosmetics. The job was tough, often keeping us late enough to catch the last train home. Yet, we always looked forward to our weekly drinks with the same group of coworkers after those long shifts. During those days, we toiled away, putting in overtime after overtime, finding little joy in our lives despite earning a decent income. With little time to enjoy our earnings, our only escape was our nightly drinking sessions. It was amidst these gatherings that Ethan and I began to date, and we tied the knot 3 years ago. After our wedding, I left my job to stay home for a while. That's when I discovered Forex trading. I dove deep into learning, purchasing several books, and scouring the internet for information. It was a challenging journey to become a trader. I invested in a trading computer, opened an account, and dedicated months to studying Forex, practicing with demo trades, and gradually trading small amounts. Eventually, I developed my own trading style and started earning consistently. However, my in-laws, who live with us, can't seem to grasp what I do. Last year, my father-in-law retired. They had been living alone in public housing, and Ethan, concerned about their financial stability, invited them to move into our 3-bedroom condo. I pay the rent for our place. When I first started trading, Ethan was still working, and we managed fine. Once my Forex income became steady, I took over the rent and all our living expenses. Dad, Mom, Erica is taking care of all our living expenses, so please feel at home, Ethan assured them. Erica, thank you so much. We appreciate it, they responded, and that's how our life with my in-laws began. I don't do any household chores, since we have a housekeeping service that handles everything. Mrs. Stacy, the manager, is an excellent cook and takes care of all the chores perfectly, allowing me to focus on studying Forex and sharing my earning strategies on various platforms instead of worrying about housework. Unfortunately, my in-laws aren't happy with this arrangement. Initially, they were modest and grateful, but after a couple of months, they started complaining. Why doesn't the daughter-in-law help around the house if she's at home? Is it really a job to sit in front of a computer all day? Forex is just gambling. Of course, they never said these things directly to me, but I could sense their nagging directed at Ethan. Since he no longer has to worry about rent or living expenses, he spends his salary on himself, and his wardrobe has become quite flashy. He always dons custom-made suits, brand-name shoes, and designer bags. Fashion has always been his passion, and he now indulges in it fully. He used to defend me against my in-laws' complaints, but that has changed. You're always glued to your computer, you don't wear makeup, and you only wear sweatpants. Isn't that awful? He said one day. Wait, what do you mean it's awful? Do I really need to dress up and wear makeup just to be at home? I retorted. You might be fine with it, but it doesn't reflect well on me, he replied. What do you mean it doesn't reflect well on you? We're at home. Why does it matter? It does matter. Don't you want to look cute for me? He pressed. Cute? Is that really necessary? I shot back. Since that conversation, Ethan has joined in my in-laws' complaints about me. One evening, as I was heading to the bathroom after dinner, I overheard a conversation in the living room. What's up with Erica? Is she mocking us? She always has such a bad attitude. Yeah, she is. She thinks we're poor just because we lived in public housing. Exactly. She does nothing around the house because she wants to act superior. Anyone can do Forex. She studied a bit and now makes $20,000 a month. I could do it too. That's right. It's just gambling. Another voice chimed in. Yes, she's acting all high and mighty. I can't stand it. She's not even that cute. Who does she think she is? Even though I work from home, I always had breakfast with Ethan before he left for work. Since he still works at the same company we were both at, he usually comes home late. We cherish those breakfast moments together, but he started avoiding them, saying, I'll eat on the go. I'm fine skipping breakfast. My mother-in-law scoffed at Ethan's behavior. Yeah, Ethan must be getting tired of a wife who doesn't fulfill her duties. It's only natural. Isn't it enough that Mrs. Stacy is managing everything so well. Talking about traditional wife duties seems so outdated. Outdated. We hold on to our customs. My mother-in-law scolded me frequently. What do you mean scolded? As long as the housework is taken care of, isn't that enough? I'm the one paying the bills. Bills? You think I'll stay silent about money for I feel living expenses? My mother-in-law, who had been living without the burden of financial responsibilities, seemed to be spending money socializing with her peers in their apartment complex. I noticed her purchasing and flaunting expensive brand-name bags repeatedly. Meanwhile, my father-in-law was investing his entire pension in his golf hobby. I even saw a new sigh golf clubs in our hallway. Meanwhile, I was the one covering rent and all our living expenses. I couldn't comprehend what they were up to. With my in-laws having nowhere else to go, I had no choice but to endure it. About a month after Ethan stopped having breakfast with me, he began taking more frequent business trips. He claimed to be involved in a new venture, importing leads from Korea, which led to a significant uptick in his travels. He mentioned another trip scheduled for the upcoming weekend. While Ethan was away, I decided to catch up with my friend, Lily, at a lovely Italian restaurant we had previously visited together. As we settled in and enjoyed our wine, I was startled to spot Ethan, despite him supposedly being on a business trip to Korea. Isn't that Ethan? Lily pointed out, her gaze fixed on a familiar figure. I turned, heart racing, only to see Ethan leaving the restaurant with another woman. That can't be him, can it? He's supposed to be in Korea, I muttered, disbelief washing over me. Lily tried to brush it off, but I knew it was Ethan. He was spending the weekend with someone else while claiming to be away on business. The woman by his side was petite, radiating a youthful charm that was hard to miss. Looked to be in her early 20s, significantly younger than Ethan, who was 37. I couldn't help but remember his earlier remark, "Don't you want to look cute for me?" The realization hit me hard. Ethan was being unfaithful. I resolved to hire a private detective to uncover the truth. On Monday, I noticed a growing number of packages addressed to my mother-in-law arriving at our condo. "Are you buying more things, Mother?" I inquired casually. "Do I need your permission?" she snapped back. "No, that's not what I meant," I replied, taken aback by her tone. It seemed my mother-in-law had developed a habit of online shopping, indulging in a flurry of brand-name bags and accessories. With the surge of luxury products available online, I couldn't help but wonder if she understood the risks involved. Sure enough, one day while Ethan was at work and I was in my room, she knocked on my door and said, "I need your opinion on something." "What is it?" I asked, curious. "Come with me," she insisted, leading me to the living room. There, she had opened one of her packages. I bought 5 bags because they were on sale, but they seemed to be copies. You have to be cautious when shopping online, especially for branded items. Upon inspecting the bags, it was clear they were counterfeit. I couldn't help but wonder how much money she had wasted on these fakes. "What should I do about this?" she asked, worry creasing her brow. "You should try to negotiate a return with the seller," I suggested. She attempted to contact the seller, but had a hard time finding their phone number. When she finally did, it turned out to be disconnected. Emails went unanswered, leaving her frustrated. In total, she had spent $3,000 on these items. The e-commerce site had looked legitimate at first glance, but it offered designer bags at impossibly low prices. Since she had paid via bank transfer, I advised her to check with her credit card company for recourse, but the site had a strict, no cancellation policy. "Mother, it's essential to be cautious when buying brand name items. If the prices seem too good to be true, they probably are. Please think twice before making impulsive purchases," I urged. "You're such a nag," she retorted, dismissing my concerns. Feeling defeated, I retreated to my room to focus on my work. However, later that Sunday after dinner, my father-in-law unexpectedly confronted me about my involvement in Forex. He had heard about it while golfing with his old colleagues the day before. "I've heard Forex is a scam. Are you deceiving people to make money, Erica?" he accused. "What?" I exclaimed, caught off guard. "They say it's all about luring people in with promises of easy money, then tricking them into investing. Your Forex activities must be a scam too," he insisted. "No, I'm not persuading anyone to invest," I defended. "Do you think your father-in-law suspects you're engaging in fraud because you're making money so easily?" he pressed. "It's not easy. I've explained this to you multiple times," I replied, frustration bubbling up. "You're raking in cash with minimal effort. It seems like it should be easy. Meanwhile, I'm working hard at the company, trying to develop new ventures, he lamented. What do you want me to do? Quit Forex? If I do, how will we pay for anything? We won't be able to cover the rent, I protested. I can cover the rent at least, my husband interjected. They didn't seem to grasp that our entire lifestyle relied on my earnings as a full-time Forex trader, yet my in-laws and husband continued to voice their opinions. The next day, the results of the infidelity investigation I had commissioned for Ethan arrived. As I suspected, he was guilty. He had been having an affair with a woman 12 years his junior, just 25 years old. She was a colleague who had joined the company after I resigned, so I didn't recognize her. However, it seemed he had indeed traveled to South Korea for business multiple times. 4 days, I grappled with the investigation's findings. How should I confront this? It was clear that divorce was on the horizon. That evening, after Stacy from the housekeeping service had prepared dinner and left, my mother-in-law broke the tense silence. Erica, after discussing things with Ethan and your father, we've come to a decision. We're uncomfortable with you being here. We want to live as a family. Please leave, she said firmly. Ethan hadn't returned from work yet. We don't want to rely on money earned through deceit. Your attitude, acting as if you know everything, isn't welcome. This decision was made after a thorough discussion with Ethan. We need you to go, she reiterated. To my surprise, I felt a sense of relief wash over me. All right, I replied calmly. The absence of my husband at that moment made it clear that any remaining affection for me had long since faded. I realized I had never been obligated to care for these individuals. That day, I packed my things and moved to a hotel temporarily. Shortly after, I'd initiated divorce proceedings. Upon discovering my husband's infidelity, I secured a cozy, one-bedroom apartment suitable for solo living, and transferred the lease of our original apartment to Ethan's name. About 4 months later, I received a message from my ex-husband. He wanted to discuss something important, and asked to visit my new apartment. When he arrived, I was taken aback to find him accompanied by my former in-laws. Erica, I'm sorry, please come back and live with us, he pleaded, tears welling in his eyes. What's wrong? What happened? I asked, concern creeping in. Without meeting my gaze, he choked out, we can't afford the $4,000 rent, and we're facing eviction. We have nowhere else to turn. Erica, please, we need your help. What happened exactly? I pressed, my heart sinking. According to Ethan, after I left, he embarked on a new business venture called LED Import Sales, importing specialized LED lights from a manufacturer in South Korea for use in factories and hospitals. Unfortunately, the lights turned out to be severely defective. Reports indicated that the sockets of the LED lamps were detaching, posing a danger of the bulbs falling out. Consequently, all the LEDs were returned, despite attempts to communicate with the South Korean manufacturer. Language barriers and vague contracts prevented any resolution. The venture had proven to be a colossal failure, resulting in significant losses, and Ethan ultimately had to resign. What was he even thinking? I muttered under my breath. In a bid to turn things around, Ethan decided to pursue a career as a full-time Forex trader himself. Using the little savings he had left, he bought a computer and jumped into trading. However, without the proper education and experience, he made a disastrous trade that quickly wiped out his remaining funds. Meanwhile, my ex-father-in-law attempted to invest his savings in the stock market, hoping to recover some losses, but poor timing led to his financial downfall as well. With their finances in ruins, they found themselves unable to pay rent or secure alternative housing, prompting them to come to me in desperation. But we're already divorced, aren't we? I reminded them, trying to keep my distance. Yes, we are, but please, we need your help. I'm begging you, Ethan pleaded, his voice breaking. What happened to your young girlfriend? I asked, unable to resist. After I lost my job, I lost touch with her, he admitted, shamefaced. Well, it's not surprising. She wouldn't stick around for someone who's unemployed, I shot back. Erica, you're the only one I want now. Let's give our marriage another chance, he urged, his eyes filled with desperation. That's right, Erica. We realize now that we misjudged you. We're truly sorry. My ex-in-laws chimed in, their expressions earnest. Erica, I owe you an apology as well. I misunderstood Forex trading and wrongly accused you of wrongdoing. I'm genuinely sorry, Ethan added, his tone sincere. I decline, I replied firmly, standing my ground. Please reconsider. I admit my mistakes, and I promise I won't betray your trust again, he implored, desperation creeping into his voice. That's right, Erica, Ethan won't cheat again. Let's go back to being a happy family of 4. My ex-in-laws echoed. I've already said no. If you continue to pressure me, I'll involve the authorities, I warned, my patience wearing thin. Despite their relentless pleas, my ex-husband and former in-laws eventually left, defeated. Is this family truly unbelievable? I thought to myself, shaking my head. After their departure, I received a barrage of desperate calls from Ethan, all begging for reconciliation. Each time, I stood firm in my refusal. I no longer felt the need to know what became of them. As I settled into my routine as a solitary trader, a longing for companionship began to stir within me. After discussing my feelings with my friend Lily, she offered to introduce me to someone new. Tomorrow, I have a meeting arranged with Lily and this individual. I'm cautiously optimistic about this fresh encounter.